Going live. Again, under the rubric, the title, or the theme of Wise People Discuss and Fools Argue. So someone just mentioned to me about Jordan Peterson, who's I've been talking to friends about, an unlikely recruit by the universe, the sort of very, he grew up in a sort of small town in Canada, and the smallest kid, picked on because of his size, and he's probably a little nerdy and intellectual. Is it going to turn out that the nerdy little intellectual little boy is going to turn out to be part of a real bringing back some power to men, some men's movement? But deeper than that, is I could see so clearly with his psyche. He's a psychological professor, Jordan Peterson, psychology professor at the University of Toronto, getting in big trouble because he's not following the narrative. He's not following the programming, right? Anytime you're a free radical, speak up, whether that was the 60s at Berkeley, where you spoke up against the war machine and the suppression of free speech and racism and gender, fascism. 60s, those people were free radicals of Berkeley in 1965, 4, 3, 6, 7, right? But it goes the other way. So swing, and it's no surprise because of the Taoist principles. What comes around goes around, right? That the free speech thing, the fascism will start at Berkeley, where it started to open free speech in the 60s. It goes all the way back to 2017, and we shut down free speech because there was remnants of denial still left. See, it's like the Tao, right? You get the little black dot in the white area and the little white dot in the black area, because if you go too far into one side, you become out the opposite side. Imagine in 3D. You go through the wormhole and you come out to your opposite. What you fight, you feed. What you deny, you become. What you embrace, you erase. What you resist, persists. Very Taoist. So anytime we, the whole country, when we want to go into wishing and hoping and praying and denying, wishing and hoping, chant heaven, chant for heaven, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, it gets weird. Cat lady's like, I want to save all the cats. Gets fucking toxic, stinky, the stuff you don't want to look at. That's why there's often a back end, like Yogananda used to say, the bigger the front, the bigger the back. The bigger the persona. Hi, I'm a beautiful spiritual guy. The back end is the shadow, right? Carl Jung's shadow that we all have. I just posted a thing, or I'm going to on Facebook, about love. Have you loved your shadow today? And it's a little boy and a little elephant looking at the wall, and the little boy's offering ice cream to his shadow, right? Have you loved your shadow? So I would suggest the giant trigger that Trump, etc., is causing worldwide, really, is this progressive, which is all beautiful ideals, again, started by the hippies or way before that, Jesus, of equality, of freedom for souls, freedom of expression, freedom of choice, and all that. America, the beginning of America. And then, of course, quote the devil or whatever, the denial, if you will, the trickster will turn it on you. So that which looks the most progressive becomes the most controlling, the most fascist. Of course, it's not going to come to you dressed as in a Nazi uniform. It's going to fight the Nazis. Just like the reincarnated priests that killed Jesus, then reincarnated and became the Catholic and Coptic and Greek Orthodox churches and so forth. They joined up. You hide inside that which you were fighting. See, that's the karmic thing. That's why there's so many Nazis, by the way, in the Knesset in Israel. Ooh, did I say that? Because the soul is constantly trying to balance. Look at Benjamin Netanyahu. Ooh, I fucking named names. That's wrong. That's an ex-Gestapo energy, and I would say an actual soul. So And this is all with malice toward none. I'm going through it. So we go into spiritual denial, like, oh, it'll be great. Obama looks perfect. He's so shiny. He's so smooth. He's such a smooth operator. It sounds so good, but he's still killing children with drones. He's still in 7 wars. Hillary's so progressive, but they're killing Gaddafi because he's going to create a gold standard and get the sub-Saharan Africa off the French franc as a money system, which is controlled by the international banksters. Because Gaddafi has I think he had 130 tons of gold, he was going to create a dinar, a backed currency for Africa. Can't have that. And they're saying, we're going to save people and stabilize. We're going to save Libya from chaos for the people. Really? Total chaos now. So that lying intention on the surface where they're to save the people from their evil dictator, you destroy their country, right? So this is either denial, or those that are smart enough play on the public's denial. They play on your denial about gender-neutral bathrooms, yes, and no racism, and they will feed on you. And Soros will feed 187 organizations that all fight for the right to whatever, fight for the right to X, but we're into creating chaos. So there's a few people in charge that know how to do that because they feed off war and chaos and so forth. This is why master and teachers will say, by their fruits you shall know them. Obama didn't close Guantanamo Bay. The wars continued, sum up, so forth, kept us in Iraq. No, but he looks good and he sounds good. It's personal and collective denial. It's kind of like a woman going, but he's such a good man. Yeah, he did beat me those 3 times, but I can feel his heart, Or grandma going, Johnny's such a good boy, her grandson, right? And he's on meth or opioids and stuck, heroin, stealing shit. But he can come live with me at my retirement home in Bradenton, Florida, or Sun City, Arizona. Wonder why there's break-ins here at the Sunny Acres Paradise retirement home. Couldn't be Johnny. That denial is reflected inside ourselves as a social justice warrior. So not everyone, but you're being played as a progressive. See, virtue say, good I am. I want equality for everyone. I'm willing to smash Trump. He's not conscious of it, most likely, right? No, he's an egomaniacal, crude New Yorker that gets triggered by the media and he plays into it. Sure. But if you don't want to be played, whether you're on the right wing or the left wing, it's the same bird, right? The right wing and the left wing are the same bird. And people that are interested in some kind of come together right now over me, not over me. I don't be John Lennon. Don't want to do that, right? So it's our collective denial, wishing and hoping and praying and chanting. It's no different a cult that thinks if we just do this and just think good thoughts all the time, then finally, why are we storing guns in the basement in our compound here in Montana, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, right? Why? But it was so beautiful channeling by Saint Germain or whatever. Denial. You're not looking at your shadow. Therefore, get real to heal was my slogan a year or 2 ago. Now I'm going through my own 2x4 to the head. Wake up about this. I thought I could push this truth on the collective and they would see it. And the universe is like, we need to clean your shit out, Tobias. So spiritual denial is when we're like thinking a government. The word literally means mind control, govern. Control. Ment means mentation, mentality. Government means mind control. Hello, the lords of language give us lots of hints all the time. So when you can't do this, wise people discuss, but you descend into fools argue, or worse, throw fire bombs, or break windows, or smash people. A progressive professor professing is no different than the guys in the pulpit that are pulping it. The horrible preachers that you progressives hate is because you're doing it too. You see in them what they're doing. The reason the fundamentalist Christians hate the fundamentalist Muslims because they're seeing themselves. And then if you're willing to go to war about it, bike locks, progressive professor at Berkeley hits the conservative with a bike lock over the head, cuts or his head open. It's okay to do violence for our cause. How is that different? You're becoming that what you hate, do it with denial, become it, the Taoist principle. So, progressivism becomes fascism. Of course. Communism becomes dictatorship. Of course. Is it Shakespeare or whoever? I forget who says it. Sir William Raleigh says, "Methinks he dost protest too much. She preached about openness till she became closed. He spoke of free thought till he became dogmatic." See the Taoist principle, the pendulum? It's shown often in the way we raise kids. My parents did this to me. I'm never going to do that. Here goes the pendulum all the way over there. The hippies are like, let's be wide open. A little too open. Beautiful stuff. The hippies introduced all of it, but there was denial there. They weren't allowed to hate. So often our denial shows up in our kids. How did it show up for the hippies? What was the next generation? Johnny Rotten and fucking Sid Vicious. Love kills. Anarchy in the UK. Right? Because the hippies didn't allow that part of themselves. They were like, moving up the country. That's where we're gonna go. It's all good. It's unrealistic. Unless you embrace your own shadow, find your own dark spots. And that's what someone like Trump is there for. Or a good master will do it to you too. They'll trigger the fuck out of you. They'll set you up with someone that triggers you, that mirrors your lying to yourself. The universe, you can't fool the Tao. You can't mock the Tao. God will not be mocked. You cannot fool Mother Nature. Energy is what energy is. But wishing and hoping and praying, and Obama looks so shiny. Hillary was such a conniving, liar, with her husband actually raping women and her standing behind it. And, it gets so psychotic that even people woke up from that and go, I'm not going to vote with my vagina. Susan Sarandon, God bless, or power to her, said. So we're learning that if you're stuck inside a polarity, you're not balanced. And this is how it's always been. It's always Mark Twain or someone says, God save us from idealists. That's me. I'm the idealist. And I'm being hammered and shut down a little bit by the universe so I don't create some fucking idealistic thing. But don't be too idealistic. Be a little more realistic. Idealism, the road to hell, is paved with good intentions. Oh, let's make everybody equal. Equal outcome is bullshit. Equal opportunity is perfect. You're born with equal access. You have the same energy system, brain, kundalini, so forth, as you're created as a soul to begin with. And from there on out, we make choices and we choose ourselves into different places. Equal outcome. Even my mom used to protest against that. And there's pictures of us on the front page of Dagens Nyheter in Sweden way back 1971 or something, where it was a protest about make everyone the same, very Swedish, very socialistic, jämlikhet, which means equality in everywhere. And my mom had us go down there because it was the government coming and forcing that you had to pay for childcare or something, or you had to choose something, what it was. We're walking around with placards. We didn't understand what it was. My mom was like, fuck that equality. Forced equality doesn't work. chosen opportunity is when you learn. Sadhguru was just talking about it. He says, don't give gifts. Shiva, the ultimate god on this planet. I know it's freaks some people out. When he first trained his sages, the first 7 sages of the Adi Yogi that managed to survive his being in Samadhi for 200 years. Back then, you lived for thousands of years. You know, back in Lemuria, 250,000 years ago, whenever it was. And one of his sages that woke up wanted to help all the people, and he used to give miracles all the time. Imagine if Jesus healed everyone all the time. Is that helpful? No, it's the Eminem syndrome. What's the Eminem syndrome? Eminem makes a bunch of money and says, I want to help my family. Buys his uncle a $350,000 house. 2 years later, Eminem's suing Eminem for not paying my taxes on the house he gave me. Was that helpful? No, it wasn't. It was unsmart giving. Guilty. Totally me. Totally me. Unsmart. Oh, everyone just tell them the truth. Give them money. Give them whatever. Give them too much, and then they turn on you. That's the only way we learn. No truth before it's time. So those of you that aren't resonating with this, please shut it off. Go back to your polar universe. You need to be there. You need to fight it out for another 1,000 lifetimes. But those of you that are wanting to see beyond the game of being played, separated into a bird with one wing, ooh, crash, ooh, left wing, crash. Progressives turn into incredibly intolerant fascists. Of course. No, you are not allowed to speak. No, no, no. Love trumps hate. Geesh, geesh, geesh. Love trumps hate. Wow, see what they're doing. Don't listen to the words. What is that happening? Get fooled by gurus. The words are perfect. Oh, dear ones. And they're channeling. We're channeling beautiful stuff. We're all oneness. And you're already there in the quantum moment. You're already here. Nothing has ever happened. Advaita. There is no fall. There's no need for purging. Just keep coming to my seminars, and I'll emit a soft white light that'll make you feel sort of a somnambulant peace, but you feel kind of drugged. But we're doing this to save the planet. An enlightened civilization by 2050, it'll be fine. Denial. The repercussions are not fun. The blowback is not fun. When denial lets loose, which is ready, feel it in America, right? All that anger, sure, but you need to get that out of you. You need to get outraged. Thank you. 444, good number. Thanks for the saying. And angelic, by the way. All the numbers are beautiful. They all have their place. 444, if you see that as angels kind of trying to talk to you. So the progressives will turn into fascists. They are. They go to Carlson's house with pitchforks and fucking torches. We know where you live. We're going to send you bombs. If that's not fascism, if that's not exactly Hitler bombing the Reichstag, threatening the people, Kristallnacht, come on. Hi, we're going to start communism. Everyone will be equal, except we'll make statues of me, Lenin, and I'll kill others vying for top position. Mao, Mao, communism. Yeah, I will make a religion, a personal religion. It just happened. North Korea, is that working? That's what that is. Personal religions. The cult of personality. Exactly. Thank you, Rage Against the Machine, or whoever that was. I don't think it was. It was, I forget the color. Living Color. Cult of personality. Yeah. Take your power back. If Trump's there as the big daddy going, hey, fucking look at your shit. Clean up your fucking room, you fucking lazy pieces of shit. No, we're supposed to raise the kid. Never saying a bad word. Everyone a trophy. It's not realistic. You create hateful, resentful, spoiled brats. Who's interested in doing that? Who's behind the scenes that wants to play you for a global one world government where you're all controlled by the banksters? Can you say George Soros? Can you say falling into Globalism. Globalism is the word you should be afraid of. Oneness is very different. Unity, when people are awake. But unawake people under one world government is incredibly dangerous. That's why nationalism, that's the evil word, really. Patriotism, that's all that means. That means you like your country. Until we're ready to join, we're doing it with the United Nations step by step. But giving your power away to the government, the literal mind control, is not going to help you. So in denial, though, we're so angry. Trump's he's trolling all of the progressives. Well, I don't know if he's conscious of it or not, but he's triggering them perfectly. It's evil daddy, the patriarchy, all that shit that we hate. So the whole thing is a collective denial. We're wishing and hoping and praying that we can have an equal society. Just let them all in. Yet in LA and California, you got 100,000 homeless people living in the streets there. By their fruits you shall know them. What's actually happening, not what the guru is saying, not what the political leader is saying, but what's actually happening. Not short term, but give it a season. By their fruits you shall know them, one wise teacher, Yeshua said. Long term, not short term travails and purgings and so forth. You have to rectify situations of time. I know this is very controversial. I know it is. But don't get caught in that. You're being played by Soros. He's funding this shit and giving you money to go out and break shit and put masks on. That's horrible. In a free country, why would you need to put your mask on? Why would you need to hide? So we're projecting our hurt and our pain and our onto whatever you want to hate, Hillary or Trump, or Catholics or Christians or gays or whatever. Projecting your shit onto them is spiritual denial. So they're going to use the thinking you're progressive is the best thing. It's no different than a cult. It's a giant cult of denial. It's like the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was watching Stuart Wilde recently talking about religions and how cultish they are. And he says, well, the Jehovah's Witnesses, they think they're all going to be lifted into the air, and they don't know how they're going to breathe up there, and Jesus is going to be with them, and then they're going to enter orbit and travel around the world, and every 90 minutes there's going to be a cloud of 15 million people coming by. You know, the beliefs get ridiculous, and educated people fall for it. It has nothing to do with education. It has to do with intuition and heart and your solar plexus. If you're not conscious, you can't discern. You'll fall for it. They'll play, just like in religionism, they play your fear. Well, what if there is a hell? Would you want to risk that? What if this is the only way? Don't you want to buy the insurance policy and join some church? Millions of people do. They're playing your fear. You're a sinful piece of shit. We're going to burn in hell, like George Carlin says, and forever and ever in vats of burning excrement and hell and magma and roasted spits. But God says, I love you. Nuts. The same thing, the progressives, you're being played just the way you can see religious programming really is crazy. You're just as being played. Your fear of dictatorship, your fear of fascism, your fear of patriarchal control, they're playing you. So they make you go all the way over to being willing to be violent and become mobs with pitchforks and torches. Kristallnacht. Look it up. Hitler. That's exactly what you're becoming. And your leaders are saying it publicly. Maxine Waters says, harass them in public. Shout them down. Yell at them. Which you know the mob leads to violence. The mob's not in control of itself. It's this close. You're being played. It's no different religiously being played, fake religion scaring you with hell, than the Democrats are currently the hardcore ones. There's good ones that are leaving. I don't know, but Dianne Feinstein, in my opinion, has a good heart. Many of them have a good heart. And a lot of times they're fooled themselves. Senator Cory Booker, I think, has a good heart. Van Jones has a good heart. But you can't, when you have the denial part, you're like, you're no better than the Republicans or the Koch brothers or whoever you hate that are, no, we don't want to know dirty deeds done dirt cheap, dirt neckties, you know, cement shoes, dirty deeds done. I don't want to know about it. Plausible denial. I have no idea. It's Nixon. You hated Nixon, right? Being such a tricky dick. You're becoming that way yourself when you're willing to look the other way. And you're Project Veritas, that guy, going in there showing the duplicitous. It's okay. If it's our side, we can break all the rules all the time. Don't become that evil patriarchy. Don't become like them. Don't go all the way into the Tao so that you become that which you fight. What you hate, you become. Choose the third way, the middle way, the Buddha way. 1 versus 2. How about we find something new? 1 versus 2. How about we find something new? You intend for something new, it will come true through you. Absolutely. So the progressivism will turn into denial and fascism. It is right there right now, obviously. And that's why there's such things as the walkaway movement. Brave guy. And he's making, I watched, who's the guy? Huckabee. Mike Huckabee has a TV show, and Brandon Straka, I think is his name, from Walkaway was on there. And Brandon's very openly beautiful, the best of the gay, in my opinion, that we're all gay. If you have a heart, you're gay. And because men had to push down their heart so much, it popped out over here, just like you push on water or whack-a-mole. It popped up pieces of their souls incarnated in other bodies and are full-on gay, but living harsh lives for many thousands of years until now, or for the last few hundred years. Brandon Stroika is so on, and I can see Mike Huckabee going, I'm a macho guy. He's, just his energy of being soft. He's a little bit feminine. He's not queenie. Brandon Stroika is not queenie, but he's feminine, or he's hearted, which has been labeled feminine. People used to think I was gay. I go, no, I just don't fuck everything that offers itself to me. David Bowie, what is that? Oh. Right? That's the 1 versus the 2, divided and conquered, becoming, how about something new? Together instead of fractured, come together, right? So unless we deal with the denial, the progressives are largely being played by their own woundology. They're wounded, they're hurt by not having father figures. So here comes the big ass father figure with orange hair and raccoon eyes and just going, you give me shit, I fucking give it back to you twice. Yeah? Horse face. Right? Just why? Google Trump's best comebacks. Come on, it's fucking riot. If you're enjoying the charade in the game, if you're vested in it, your wounds, it's going to drive you crazy, and you're going to be secretly happy if someone assassinates Trump. And then you'll get what you deserve even more. Really? Hillary for president? Are you serious? Oof. How many people have the Clintons killed? They call it Arkancide as a joke. 30 some odd people. Get real. Uncle, the emperor has no clothes. Yes, we need to expose the banks. There's the Rockefellers, so other relationships. Yes, of course. And the Lion, Sacha Baron Cohen. Beautiful. The thing with Dick Cheney. Watch this. Who's America? Awesome. Expose it on the right and on the left. Expose the denial in all places. And let's take that old world of the right wing versus the left wing and create something new. 1 versus 2, create something new. Aren't we sick of it? Do you want World War III? I don't. Do you want to keep killing the earth? Fracking, fucking fracking, and killing oceans and all this shit? Yeah. Trump's not perfect today. His kids shouldn't be hunting. It's horrible. Point that out. It's not all or nothing. At this time, it is the lesser of two evils. But for the progressives, don't get played. Your wounds, they're just playing you like your wound. Bing, boom. Oh, yeah, the gender issue. We can get race, throwing the race card all the time. I'll keep them divided, keep fomenting and manifesting the race, the slavery and all that. Let's, watch how slanted all commercials, everything now. It's totally slanted. They're feeding on your wanting revenge. If you want revenge, you go back to war. World War I, World War II was about revenge. Hitler wanted revenge on the French, the Vichy agreements, or Versailles, I forget what it was, the Vichy Accord, yeah. If they will foment your want for revenge. And wise teachers say, vengeance is mine, says God, meaning don't go, I'll take care of it karmically. You try to create something, the L shift. Instead of being a landlubber, a two-dimensional, what do they call that? I forget what they call it. The Mayans, the real Mayans, not the one that are left now. That's the mix of the fallen indigenous parts, right? Mixed with the humans. The real Mayans, they just did the L shift, the elder, the fire shift. They got out of horizontal time and they're masters of time. You can do this too. So anyhow, don't be played, whether you're on the left or the right. Brandon Stroika talking to Mike Huckabee, talk about politics makes strange bedfellows. And Huckabee's like, so I'm getting a little nervous because Brandon's very sweet, beautiful. And speaking from his heart, speaking his truth. He's not being controlled by the progressive bullshit. And don't be controlled by the regressive conservative bullshit. Step out of the game. Step into a bigger game. Don't be played. Don't be played. Don't be played. And the way you do that is to heal your own denial. They play your wounds. They play on your fears. All of it. You can see it clearly when Trump plays on the fears of immigrants, right? MS-13, he'll keep banging that drum. And you're like, well, do you like him doing that? Well, don't do the same thing. When you're going, fascism, fascism, and you're being sold down to actually stopping free speech. Yeah. So there's something new coming. We're done with this old world. Done with that shit. Done with being played into artificial wars, So Sacha Baron Cohen exposing, he's, obviously angled towards exposing the idiocy of the right. Great. But and Jordan Peterson's exposing the idiocy of the left. Both of them are heroes in my world, or doing exactly what they need to do. Well, if you personally heal yourself, you can't be fooled again. Thank you, St. Pete Townsend, right? Get on our knees and pray that we don't get fooled again. Prophetic. How do you do that? You face your own shadow. You don't go, Pollyanna, cat lady, Pollyanna, hoping and wishing and praying. I'm a social justice warrior. And then when I'm not doing this, we're all talking, then we need to focus on how evil Trump is and hit people over their head with bike locks. What? That's the Jekyll and Hyde thing. You're not balanced. It's no different than super Christians preaching of love, Jesus, and killing gays. The poor guy up in Idaho a few years ago. Equally psychotic Jekyll and Hyde. The progressives are equally psychotic Jekyll and Hyde right now if you're hitting people and doing Antifa shit or supporting it inside yourself. So you got to find your own denial spots, left or right, if you want healing. How do masters say that? Jesus says, well, before you see the beam, the speck in someone else's eye, look at the beam in your own eye. Look at your own shit. All last night at 3 a.m. or this morning at 6 a.m., God's waking me up. I got to go sit. And I'm looking at what a dick I've been. Pollyanna spiritual teacher. Bit arrogant, a bit feeding on it, a bit thinking I have a mission to do. I never thought it was important, really. But it's like I thought I had a mission to do. God's like, settle down. Heal yourself first. Then share. Or get together others equals. Don't create guruships again. See, that was the danger for me, right? Oh, hi, dear ones. Sit there with your beatific smile. I can do it really good. I'd have lots of followers. Makes me want to fucking puke. I'm done with that. I'm still working that out of my body. Thank you, God, for saving me from my own fucking karma. Been there, done that, doesn't end well. Starting cults or movements. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Let's go fight for justice. Let's kill Trump and we'll get Hillary. That's good. Well, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Don't be played. Your wounds. Get rid of your own wounds. Look at yourself. Take a look at yourself. Man in the mirror. Walk a mile in my shoes. It's really, me getting hammered this last year has really opened my compassion a lot more and my patience. Yes. So much love. If you want to join us for the webcasts, we'll do it on Sundays at 10:30 California time, whatever that is, the rest of the planet, 1:30 usually on the East Coast. Well, it is, they do it daylight savings time. But in the evening in Europe and way in the morning, about 3, 4 a.m. in Australia and so forth. You can listen to the recordings, so you don't have to attend live. TobiasLars.com. I'm actually going to write something in here. Check it out in the chat. Tobias Lars, the caps on, sorry, .com. If you want to sign up for the webcast. Yeah, very good. So, I'm not attacking. Don't get caught in either side. Wise people discuss. You're going to find common ground and communicate. Communion. Communicate. Communion. And I could recommend for your personal journey, you start with the inner body awakening. That's what I do every day. And those of you that have signed up for it and are using it, I am going to do some classes with the two where we practice together. And coming on the horizon, my friend Duncan, my graphic artist friend in the UK, just finished the one full conscious divine breath. And we have a nice graphic. We're going to tweak it. Just one more thing, Duncan, if you watch this. I just see one thing with the things coming out the bottom, a little wider at the bottom and the top. And we're done. And I'm going to get that out there too, as a one full conscious breath for all of us. Much love. Thanks for being here, you guys. Study the triggers. Yeah. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Forgiveness is what? Forgiving one unto the other. Forgiveness is meant to be forgiving one to the other, back and forth. I forgive me. I forgive you. Ho'oponopono, the whole planet. Yes. Much love. More love to come. I know that guy. Talk to you later. By the way, Mo Love, you got to check it out. Mo Love's got awesome raps. He's a fucking rap artist. It's awesome stuff. But he does it from an enlightened point of view. But not with namby-pamby. Mo Love, he doesn't do it with namby-pamby. It's hardcore rap, in my opinion. You know, from the heart, but it's got power to it. So check him out. All right, good. More to come. Much love to all you guys. And I like it better live. I was going to do premieres, like to play it, but I like live better, so we're going to stay with live. And thanks for contributing, you guys. It's very helpful, since really the only things I'm doing now is the webcasts and these things. That will help me keep things going. All right, much love. More later. Ciao.